What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Capsule.
Quite long, that one.
I hit the wrong button.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Capsule. Oh, what's up? Just when I thought I was done talking for the day, we're back again. I got my good friend Lewis with me. Once
Definitely
again.
not back by popular demand.
Well, people do enjoy your episode. Why is your mic all like that?
What?
Why don't you turn it? So like mine, look.
Oh.
Why'd you do that?
Now it's really close.
Bro, put
There
it
we
there.
go.
There we go. We got it. We got it. Yeah. Be interested to know what we name this pod. But yeah, so what happened this week? So obviously the AIM Connective was the name of their takeover week, but it was AIM Collective's takeover of the East London Dance Building, which I think we've definitely spoken about before on previous podcasts. So if you don't know and you aren't aware, the East London Dance opened a new building in, it's called Sugar House Island in near Stratford. As part of that, they select different people to take over their building. AIM Collective got selected to take over for a week. They did 3 workshops. Firehouse taught, that was Brooke and Paris. They taught a workshop, so that was Lucia and Camille, I think.
I think I saw clips of like all 3 of them doing it.
Oh, maybe maybe all 3 of them. And then on Wednesday it was Monsters, I think. I think that's the order. It might be around. But Breaks and Marvel taught. That looks sick. During the whole week, during the days, they had like a little the internal kind of creation period, I think. So they were in the studio working on some stuff. Thursday night they had the panel discussion, which was really cool. Friday night they had the Capsule, that's me and us, the film screening, that was also really cool. And then yesterday was the battle. Lewis, what were you at? What did you think of it all?
I was only at the battle.
Cool.
But I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really good day. And I was really, really tired, but I still, aren't we all? But I still really enjoyed it. I was surprised I enjoyed it as much as I would when I got there and found out the whole situation about the not everyone being allowed into the actual battles.
Yeah,
zone.
so for context,
Yeah.
because the building is new, they're still working out some details, right? So I think what it is it's a fire safety thing that because of the amount of fire exits and fire, that type of thing, they can only have a certain amount of people in that top studio where they held the battle. So what they did, which I thought was a really clever way to work around that, rather than limiting the entrance or anything like that, they made... because they had different rooms in the building. So what ELD did is if you were dancing and you were in the prelims or you were in the battle, you could be upstairs. Anyone else, instead of like, we couldn't really have much of a crowd there. So they had other areas in the building. So they had a downstairs studio. They had the members hub where it's like some sofas and stuff. And they connected a live stream to play on projectors in those rooms. So even if you couldn't be in the room, you could be downstairs watching it. And, yeah, obviously it's not an ideal situation, but because of the fire safety and stuff, they had to limit the numbers. But it actually, I thought, turned out quite well. I thought it was quite cool to have it on the screen. Yeah,
Definitely.
Anything more you're going to say on that?
What, on the whole screen thing?
Yeah.
No, I mean, to be honest, I kind of grew to the idea, actually.
Yeah.
Because it was nice that, like, you could still be in a different room and cipher and stuff, but keep up with what was going on still. And, like, they had... I think Sean's mic was a link to the whole building. So, and any announcements he made, you could hear wherever you were. Yeah. And I think I grew to like the idea.
I think they should keep that even if you are allowed everyone.
Yeah, definitely.
Like if you had a battle running And even if you are like if you go down to get a coffee or whatever, and you can still keep an eye on the battle while you're doing that, I think it's actually like kind of they maybe stumbled on a really unique idea of like how to run stuff. And even they had one in the entrance when you walk in, so you could immediately walk in and be like, oh look, the prelims are starting or whatever. Even if you were, I don't know, people that were maybe going outside to smoke or something, you could still see the TV from where you were.
Yeah.
So I think they should definitely keep that. And, you know, obviously it would be great to have like a bigger crowd in there. But also sometimes you're like, you don't want to be in there. You're tired. It's like...
That's what I'm saying. Because there was points where I just wanted to chill and like
have
change
a chat
and
with
stuff,
someone.
but I could still keep up with it. And so, yeah, it was better than I expected.
Yeah. I agree. You were saying you enjoyed Sean's hosting actually, weren't you?
Yeah, shout out Sean. I don't think I've seen him host before.
I think he might have hosted Pop City before, but I'm not sure. But
yeah, I thought Sean was this fucking sick host.
Yeah.
Straight to the point, clear, like didn't say too much when people are dancing.
Yeah.
So that was one thing that I took. I think I wanted to mention on there that Sean was a really good host.
Yeah, sick.
So well done, Sean.
And what do you think of the battles and stuff? Highlights
of the battles. The 3v3 was really good.
So that was funk and footwork.
Yeah, and there was some dancers there that I've not seen dance for a while, like Dixon and Holistic. So yeah, that was a real treat to sit and watch that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And what do you think of Poppin'?
Poppin', again, really high level.
Yeah.
I think the event, people are being really consistent at events at the moment. Obviously the Kingdoms League thing, but yeah, man, it means that every event at the moment like is really high level. And say even if you don't get through, you know you're in for like a good show.
Yeah.
So.
And that finals was sick.
Oh man,
I really enjoyed that.
They took the time limit off.
Yeah,
and it made such a difference because like people like Silk especially like can really tell a story and like build their round and like, bruv, I could have watched that for like 3 hours.
Yeah,
so
100%, man. I think that's like. Yeah, that was a really nice because they used to do that back at like Throwdown. There was no time limits at Throwdown, and obviously he'd like count you in to be like, all right, get out. You know, if you've been in there for too long. But the idea of like there not being like a 1 minute restriction, it's like, and if we're feeling you around and stuff, you can just kind of go. Yeah, I think it's
especially
really nice
for the finals. Like,
and I didn't notice anyone going in for too long. Once they took off the time limit, I was like, the rounds were kind of like a decent length without getting boring, and it's like it allows the dancer to tell the story as opposed to like. Yeah, being cut off.
I definitely agree.
Yeah. I agree. That was super cool. And what else? Yeah, so, I mean, the Thursday night panel discussion was really cool. We actually recorded that. I have a backlog of content that's going to start coming out, Groovanometry, etc., etc. So that the panel talk will eventually come out. It was really, really interesting, I thought. It was like, I don't know if you saw the lineup. It was... Ginger, Kenrick, Hakeem, a guy called Gary Nurse, who's like a UK jazz, like old school dancer, Renegade, and Hakeem from Impact. And Francesca was hosting, and it was really interesting. It was like they were all talking about the like history of like the UK stuff and how it came, and yeah, I loved it, man. It was really cool.
Were they asking? Because I know you put a thing on your story asking about for questions. Did they ask those?
I don't know exactly which ones she answered of those. I don't remember what was on there, to be honest, but I kind of gave them all to Francesca, so I think they factored into what she was asking. But I think what was really good about Francesca is like, as a host, I don't know that she's hosted a lot of things like that before, and I think people can like sometimes it's hard. I've been fucking trying to study it and learn how to do it, and it's not easy. And I think what she did really well was like, sometimes when people discuss in a panel, there's 6 people and they're all kind of going back, and then someone says something and then it makes someone else think of something, and then they start talking. And as a host, you can feel like the conversation's running away from you almost, and you're like losing control, or you feel like you're not doing a good enough job because you're not inputting. And I think what she did good was like, she kind of asked the right questions at the right time to prompt more, but then let them talk and like let it go. And that's actually what we're here for, is to hear them talk, not for you to get through a certain amount of questions. So my thing, especially with pods and stuff, it's a bit different than an interview or a panel discussion with a pod, because we can just chat. But is like, I'd rather go deep. If I have 6 things in my mind I want to talk about, I'd rather go deep on 3 than get through all 6 and it kind of be shallow and I've cut people off. So Francesca, I don't know what she had planned, but she let them kind of go deep into stuff and just let them go on certain topics without needing to cut them off. Oh, I have more questions. It's like, the point is to hear them talk, and will enjoy that more than you getting through a certain number of questions.
I look forward to watching it. I saw a little bit on the live stream.
Yeah.
But I was like, I want to save it for when it comes out properly.
And Insta Lives are no good, to be honest. I just do them for people to kind of check in and see what's going on. But nobody wants to like have their whole phone take. Like you can't minimize it. You can't listen. No. Like Insta Lives suck, to be honest, in terms of like watching anything. I remember in the pandemic, Tinashe did an Insta Live concert.
Really?
Yeah, which I love her music. A lot of her like non-poppy stuff I love. But like it was cool, but it's like, again, it's like after like 20 minutes, I'm like, all right, I want my phone back.
Yeah, because that's the thing. You can't like look on anything else.
I can't go on WhatsApp. I can't go on Insta. And it's like, we kind of get in this habit of like, while you're listening to stuff, you want to, and I was just like, you've taken over my phone. Lovely. You're really good. But there's very few people that are going to allow me to pee off my phone for that long. So yeah, panel discussion was sick. The Capsule screening was really, really sick. I enjoyed it. Obviously from a different perspective because I kind of curated and hosted the night. We had, so basically the idea, if you don't know, was I had different, when I said this on the night, but when AIM approached me about it, it was like, oh, let's put together, they wanted to put together a film screening. They wanted me to host it, cool, and curate it. And the original kind of conversations were around, let's find pieces of work that we want to screen at this thing, like what could we do? And I think it was my idea, or we kind of come up with it of let's celebrate the people as opposed to the individual pieces of work.
Right.
So then we chose like videographers, and like, again, I said this on the night, but I'm going to say it again. It wasn't a list of like the best videographers or a list of the only videographers. There are so many more like amazing videographers in our scene without even getting to like photographers. You know, you've got people in the commercial scene. There's a Millie Crisp, is her name, Melissa. She's a fucking amazing. She does some sick stuff on TikTok with the transitions, but she's also like a super legit videographer. People like that. There's people, you know, like Owen, Missing Pixels is his thing, and he runs New Dance TV. He was at filming The Battle. Like, he's amazing. One of the people I looked up to when I first started doing it. But
so who did you have at the panel?
So we had Debo, who did the 3 hour or 4 hour screening a while ago,
right?
And that was kind of more of a private event, so I wanted him to be there to like showcase. He showcased like 13 minutes of this 4 hour thing, which was really cool to get to see it, because it's like he was there for a lot of the old school history and stuff.
Oh, did that happen recently in like a cinema? Or
yeah,
something?
Exactly.
I saw.
So
that.
we had him showcase a little bit of that, and then we had a chat about it. Tommy from Funk Stylist TV. Do you remember Tommy?
Yeah. Is that still a thing? Funk Stylist?
Not really. That was like you see in his film. Like he did more of like an interview based thing. It's all going to go up on YouTube anyway, so people will be able to see some of these films, not all of them, because one or two of them are exclusives. Then I screened a film that I made of my friend Lee, that you haven't seen. We'll watch it after this actually. That's going to go up online, about a project that he's doing to do with his art and paintings, to do with dancers. And so I made a film about his project. So my contribution was like to kind of, it was my videography contribution, but it was to celebrate Lee rather than be like, it's my night and here's all my work. You know, it's a bit like self-centered. Then we had Toby Oddventure.
Sick.
He just screened like 3 different short films that he made. Super dope, but he kind of like, it was like all ran in one. Max Cheshire made a little edit. I'll show you that as well.
Max's
really
edits are...
Yeah, it was really sick. And then Joe, Monkey Flip Media Priest, screened a exclusive thing that is not going to be out. And people seem to really enjoy it. And I won't say too much about what it was, because... A, it will remain special for the people who were there, and B, it's not going to be online. So if his work is successful, hopefully you'll see these put out. But yeah, it's not really my place to announce what it is that he's working on. But if you were there, you know, and I'm sure you enjoyed it. It might be okay for me to show you a little preview afterwards, but I'll just edit that bit out where I said that if Joe says that. So that was really cool, man. I was super happy to see like people enjoying it. And what I was saying on the night is like, we watch a lot of videos on our phone and stuff, YouTube and Insta and stuff. So to see people actually enjoying a film screening and sitting down and watching something in person and hearing people laugh at the right times or say wow at the dancers, it was like, oh, sick. This is still a thing. Like that people want to do in person.
That sounded like a really fun night, actually. I wish I was there.
Yeah, I want to do more of them, to be honest. Like, that's something I want to work towards.
How many people were there? Big crowd, no?
Not like the
Quite
maximum is
intimate.
like, I think 50 tickets they had, and like some of those were staff and stuff.
Right.
So I think there wasn't loads of tickets anyway. I don't think it sold out, but there was maybe like 30 people there.
That's
out
cool,
of, out of like maybe like 40 tickets that would have sold. But I enjoyed it. There was nice people there. I enjoyed the people that were there, and I want to work towards doing more live stuff. So like even live pods, more film screenings. It'll be sick to do a regular film screening of like stuff that happens in the dance scene, you know, people to, and give them more of a platform to make longer form work, as opposed to like everyone feeling a pressure to just make 1 minute Instagrams. It's like, you can make it a 10-minute video and I'm going to screen it and you can come and watch and stuff. So that would be cool. But yeah, we'll get there. And let me know if you would be interested in coming to stuff like that. Even the downstairs, you know where the studio is in ELD?
Yeah.
That where they had that screen.
Yeah.
I was saying that would be sick to do, like, you know, upstairs they had all the like, well, you don't know, but they had the projector down, they had all seats and stuff. But like that downstairs, imagine if like you put sofas in there and people could come with bean bags and stuff and just sit on the floor and watch stuff.
That could definitely happen.
Yeah.
I'd go.
You heard it here first. And also other organizations, if you want to put on film screenings, your boy can curate that ting. So yeah, all in all, it was a pretty good week. I think it must be fucking hard to run. Well, I know it's hard to do stuff like that. And I don't know that like AIM have done loads of events of their own before. So it's obviously a new process for them to like work together in that way. Because you can be the best of friends with people. You can have worked on a million rehearsals and this. But to run an event, it's a whole different thing, you know. So yeah, I mean, I don't know how hard it was behind the scenes, probably very, but it turned out all pretty well. There wasn't any huge things that everyone was like, oh, that went terrible. It was like pretty well run. All the stuff worked well. So yeah, well done to AIM, man. Like, it's not easy. And I look forward to seeing how the other takeovers go and how they transform the building into their own thing. Shout out to East London Dance for even trying. You know, it's easy to complain about, because of the fire safety, we couldn't go up and blah, blah, but it's like, if they didn't do that, there would be no event. So, you know, we got to support people that, you know, I don't think we shouldn't criticize people, because I criticize people all the time. And I think it's good to have these healthy conversations and say, hey, here's the feedback of like what I didn't enjoy, and for people to understand. So I'm not saying for people not to criticize organizations or people, but we should also support them when they're trying to do stuff for us. And it's like, if we work with them, we can get more of what we want as a community, as opposed to just cussing them out. Unless they do something really bad, and then in which case cuss them out if they need to get cussed out. But it's still feedback, you know. What else? Yeah, so yeah, overall sick week. Super enjoyed that. It was a very AIM-filled week. I was working a lot behind the scenes for a bit for AIM and for ELD as well, so I was a bit more involved in the process than maybe the average person. But yeah, I enjoyed what they did. Yeah, and then Move It was this weekend.
Move It.
That's where we were today. I did a couple of talks. That is literally the only thing I participated in. It was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. A lot of different people were there. You've been loads of times, right?
That's the first time I've been as an adult, I think.
How did you find it? Less interesting?
To be honest, it was just like kind of like as I remember.
Yeah.
The only thing I pointed out today was the freestyle stage was a lot smaller.
Yeah.
Definitely was like 3 times the size when I remember doing it. But yeah, man, I feel like for who it's intended for, like, it's a really good event. And like we were saying about how many dance colleges and stuff are there, and like for parents to go down and see maybe what they're sending their kid to, like, I think it is a really good event. And the stage and the whole production side of it was very impressive, actually.
Yeah.
It was a really big setup, and
yeah.
Fair play.
Yeah, it kind of, you know, it sounds like a shitty thing to say, but like, it is what it is, you know.
Yeah.
It's a big stage, big whole production thing, and if you're in a certain demographic, you'll really enjoy being there. And yeah, man, there's a lot of people there. It's huge. I would love to get to a stage of like, imagine like a Capsule event that's that big, and it's more about like the battle scene, and you have all the different, I don't know, like it would be sick to see our side of the scene have that level of infrastructure.
That's one criticism I would have. I feel like there needs to be more room at that event for maybe I don't know if the underground scene want to be there, but I feel like that's definitely something that should have its own. Like,
it depends why, because you know the Move It is for like dance colleges and
advertising,
but what is it that we're advertising? That's the thing.
Maybe it's like education, like
But Move It's not really about education.
No, I know.
Do you know what I mean? If it was like a
Yeah.
thing about, you know, you have the seminars and you have stuff like that, but in general, it's advertising, it's selling. So that's why people pay for these stands, is so that they can go and advertise their college or advertise their brand, advertise their photography services. So we need to understand what it is. It might be an event that we want to advertise, you know, like UK B-Boy Champs
Yeah.
could have a stand and be like, check out UK Champs or whatever. But I think where we don't, it depends what we would advertise. I mean, I want the Capsule to go there. I mean, we were there doing talks, but like to be more involved in that because I have something to advertise. I want people to come and check the platform, check the podcast and blah, blah, blah. So for me, it's something, but I think in general, the scene, it's like, we need to kind of understand what it is we want to advertise because they have such a big audience. That's the main reason to be there, is to advertise.
I feel
to them.
like when I was a kid, the first time I got introduced to like the underground scene was when I stumbled accidentally across Trocadero, and I was like, "Yo, like, what is this?" And that completely like opened my mind and changed everything I thought about dance before that. But I feel like as a kid, it would be nice for them to see, like, even if it's like a cipher on the freestyle stage, but of like high level battlers at the moment, for them to be exposed to that, because a lot of them won't, or what they think is, say, popping, like, you know, I think,
like Move It isn't a community-based thing, but dancers go in there think that it is because they're seeing all these different things. So they're saying, oh, this is the industry and this is the community, whereas all it is really is anyone that has something to advertise goes there. So it's almost like injecting a bit of our scene because we understand the consumer point of view of they're going there. Like I went there the first time to kind of get a thing for the scene. And from there I found Bird Gang class and went there. But the only reason I found Bird Gang was because there was a big competition called Club Gel, which ended up being it fell apart a bit. But they were advertising their competition,
right?
And I was like, oh, what's this competition about? And they were like, here's one of our judges is Quayle, and he teaches at Pineapple, so check him out. So I went to his class. So I kind of found the community through someone advertising something, which is, you know, hopefully what I want more for like the Capsule to be, is like, yes, I'm talking about my podcast or trying to promote the platform, but I'm directing you to the community through the podcast. Even if you come and listen to the pod, it's like we're talking about stuff that's happening. So the bigger this gets, hopefully the more I can shine a light on the community, I guess.
But I also think, not to criticize again, but Move It, I feel like they definitely should have marketed or promoted or pointed people in the way of going to listen to these talks that you did today. Not just yours, but I feel like the two that I was at, your ones, were really insightful, and I feel people could take a lot from them. But there wasn't many people up there, was there? Yeah,
but when you were like 15 and you were out there with all your friends, you don't want to go and sit and listen to people talk.
But I mean, even still, like, we were supposed to be there, and we were struggling to even find where this room was. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there was no. It didn't really feel like it was. It felt like a completely separate thing to the main. I don't know. Yeah, fair. But I guess it's like, even if they put like they give it its own thing, I can imagine as an event manager, you're like, right, we give it this space in the middle, but then no one comes, and you've got just this, and bro, the music was so loud in the whole, like, it
has to be in its own thing.
Wow.
I know what you mean though. It would have been nice, but it's I get it from both sides, you know. But I had some good talks. Those will come out as well at some point. I've got this backlog of content that's coming out, which I'm happy about. Lots of stuff to give to everybody. But yeah. That's the Capsule.
Is that the end?
I think that might be the end.
Okay.
Not really, unless you've got anything else to talk about.
Nope. I'm quite hungry though.
Do you want to talk about the fact that you recorded yourself asleep?
Can we cut in it?
I can put it in.
Do I want to put that video in?
I don't know.
No,
it's
maybe
fine.
not.
Lewis fell asleep on the train and accidentally recorded himself sleeping. So there's a video of his selfie camera of him asleep and waking up and realizing that the camera's on.
If Luke has time, I'll send it to him. I'm going to put it in.
Cool.
I was trying to record how loud the Met line is. And I think instead of pressing record, I pressed stop, and then I don't know what I did, but
it's a hilarious bit. I'll try and put it here. You might have already seen it while we're talking. Anyway, hope everyone has a good week, and I'm going into an R&D process now. Well, 2 at the same time, which is as if I needed more things to do, but it'll be fun. I'll enjoy it. So the moral of the story is, make sure you take days off and build rest into your schedule.
Yes.
Otherwise, you'll be tired and be on the edge and not feel good, and then you will be stressed about everything, and then everything will seem super bad, and then you'll probably overreact and be super irritable with the people that you love, and then they'll get annoyed at you, and then you'll be even more tired and stressed, and then you have to go and do more work, and then everything becomes really hard, and then you have to take time off. And yeah, mental health is important, well-being is important. We like to do too much and then get stressed. That's been the capsule. See you later, guys.